I'm not smart enough to home educate is something a lot of parents have said to me over the years. Now, my first response to this is that 67% of working class students leave the entire education system without adequate GCSEs. And they grow up to be the adults that think very similar to yourself, that they're not good enough, that they're not smart enough. It sadly becomes a cycle. Because we don't think we're smart enough, we resign ourselves to thinking and agreeing with the indoctrination that school must be the only place our children can go to get an education because we're not smart enough to deliver it. The same school system that left you feeling not smart enough in the first place. You are enough. We all have moments where we experience doubt, the imposter syndrome, and or question ourselves. Am I smart enough, organised enough, patient enough, calm enough, and qualified enough? And these self-doubts are experienced by so many parents, so many people in fact, that it does circle back to my prior blog post on the fear of failure. So I do recommend watching that one too. Growth continues through adulthood, and many of us are not only healing our children, but healing ourselves. We are breaking that cycle. It's easier said than done, but we need to relax the expectations we place upon ourselves. Many of us recognise the societal expectation placed on our children is unnecessary. Yet we still place those expectations upon ourselves. We too are a work in progress. And we too do not have to conform to those external expectations. And they often become internal expectations through indoctrination and learned experience. We need to empower ourselves too, rediscover ourselves. It's easy to focus on what we perceive as our weaknesses, whilst ignoring our many strengths and what we bring to the table. The quality of one-on-one time, being able to be flexible and meet our child's learning needs and their learning preferences, their learning styles. Being able to enjoy days together at will, holiday and term time. The freedom for self-expression and the wonders that does for our child's confidence. Involving them in their educational journey and empowering them. All delivered and provided with love. This self-doubt about our intelligence, about being smart enough, all comes down to how we perceive ourselves. Our lived experiences. You're carving a new path for your child, yet you're having to carve that path in real time, and it's also a new path for you too, as the parent. It's intimidating, but any process of growth is. And I have learned so much since home educating, not just academically, but through the experiences we have shared together as a family. And a lot of the time, we overthink and focus on aspects that don't actually affect our child's learning journey. And let's not forget, the journey is far more important than the destination. A motto I repeat to myself regularly is, a bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to turn. And I actually saw that on the wall of the tax office years ago when I was self-employed. We may be on this journey with our children, but despite being adults, we are still continuously growing and learning from our environment and experiences ourselves. So anything that we think of as a weakness now may later become one of our key strengths. Yet we can allow these expectations we place upon ourselves to become chains that we bind ourselves with and hold ourselves back with and beat ourselves with a lot of the time. Home education is a very freeing journey for us parents too. My top tip is to just enjoy the journey together, the process together, because your child is in control of the destination regardless. And that's our aim as parents, for our children to have that confidence to go out and carve their way in the world, to succeed and thrive and be happy. And home education provides them with the perfect experience to gain that confidence in themselves. I highly recommend looking into deschooling, because that's the process of reprogramming ourselves and how we see and view education as taking place successfully. But it can also help us review how we perceive our own intelligence, which can actually be very empowering for us as parents and facilitators of our child's education. It's about broadening your view on education and how success looks, how learning takes place. And I'll also attach my deschooling blog link in the bio as well. At the end of the day, you're not their teacher. You're the parent, and you facilitate their education and learning journey. Anything you don't know, you learn together. And you can also outsource areas you feel you need assistance with too. And the curriculum is also optional. The home ed community is supportive, and due to its recent explosion in numbers, there's now a breadth of resources out there that are available at the click of a button. Many of those are free, and most areas now have regular meetups, groups, workshops and activities throughout the year. So support is very accessible now. So it's important to remember that you are not in this journey alone, and anyone can home educate, because it's a journey you take with your child. And as I said earlier, I learn something new all the time. Yes, it's important that we take home education seriously and ensure we facilitate a well-rounded education for our child. But it's not a question of intelligence or being smart enough. As long as you have the willingness to learn and grow yourself, and are dedicated to find out how your child will learn best, their learning preferences, their learning styles, so that you can create a unique bespoke learning journey for them, with them, and are a committed parent, then there's no reason that you can't home educate. Anyone can home educate. Then regardless of how smart you feel, you are capable of home educating, and you are most definitely enough. Any questions, pop them in the comments below and I will get back to you.